So for lesson 14, we're going to be doing some more subtracting, using place value understanding to decompose smaller units up to 3 times using the standard algorithm. And we're going to apply the algorithm to solve some word problems using tape diagrams. So it's going to be kind of like yesterday, except this time we're going to be decomposing a few times. So looking at number 1, we're just going to use the standard algorithm to solve. Okay, so 0 minus 0, 0. Okay, so now we get 6 minus 7 in our tens place. So we're going to take 100 and turn it into 10 tens. So now we have 16 tens minus 7 tens, 9 tens. 3 minus 3 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, moving on to the next one, you can see some similar numbers here. Okay, so we're going to follow the same steps. So 400 becomes 300, and our 6 tens becomes 16 tens. 16 minus 7 is 9. Now this is where it gets a little bit different. 3 minus 4, we need to have more. So 2 thousands becomes 1,000. And we're going to take 1,000 and turn it into 10 hundreds. So now we have 13 minus 4 is 9. So now we get 990. Okay, so for letter C, ones and tens are pretty easy. So now 600 minus 700. Well, we have to turn one of our thousands into 10 hundreds. Now we have 16 minus 7 is 9. Okay, so now 6,000 minus 9,000. So we borrow or decompose a 10,000 and turn it into 10 1,000s. 16 minus 9, and then 8 minus 4. Okay, moving on to letter D here. Okay, so starting off with our ones place, we need to decompose. So our 6 tens becomes 5 tens. 0 ones is now 10 ones. Okay, and then 5 tens minus 7 tens, we need to decompose again. So we're going to take 100 and turn it into 10 tens. So now we have 15 tens minus 7 tens is 8 tens. 300s minus 400, so we're going to take 1,000 and turn it into 10 hundreds. Okay, 13 minus 4 is 9. Okay. Moving on, it gets a little bit tricky now. 6 minus 7 in our ones place. Well, we need to decompose. But we come over here and we see a 0 in the tens place. So what we need to do is we need to actually cross off our 30 tens and make it 29 tens. And then 6 ones becomes 16 ones. So now we have 16 minus 7 is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so you have to be careful with that 0. So then 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, now we have 12 minus 3 is 9. Okay, moving on here to letter F. 4 minus 5 in our ones place. So we need a 10 to become 10 ones. Okay, and then 6 hundreds minus 7 hundreds. So we need to decompose again. So 16 minus 7 is 9. Okay, and we get 92,979. Okay, moving on to letter G here. Now again, we got a bunch of zeros, so again, we have to be very careful. So 6 minus 7, we need to decompose. So we see these zeros, so I can't go to the tens place or the hundreds place. I got to go all the way out here to the thousands place. So now instead of having 400 tens, I now have 399 tens. And now that 10 becomes 10 ones. So I have 16 minus 7 is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 1 is 8. 3 minus 1 is 2. So we get 2,889. Okay, moving on to letter H here. So we have 4 minus 5. So we borrow and decompose from the 8. Make it 7. So 14 ones minus 5 ones equals 9. 7 minus 0 is 7. So 600s minus 700s. Okay, again, now we need to decompose from the 7, make it 6,000s, and that 1,000 now becomes 10 hundreds. So now we have 16 minus 7 to get 9. Okay, but now 6 minus 7 in the thousands place. So 9 10,000s becomes 8 10,000s. 6,000s is now 16,000s. Okay, 16 minus 7 is 9. 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay. Last one again, we got a couple of zeros here. So 0 minus 7. Okay, so our 6 needs to become 5 tens, and our 0 is now 10 ones. Okay, so 10 minus 7 is 3. 5 tens minus 1 10 is 4 tens. Now we have another 0. Okay, so our 4,000s becomes 3 thousands. 0 hundreds is now 10 hundreds. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 3,000 minus 1,000 is 2. And then 12 minus 3 is 9. So we get 92,943. So now moving on to some word problems. Okay. So we're going to draw a tape diagram. We need to use numbers to solve, write an answer statement, and check our work. So just like what we did with yesterday. So there's 86,400 seconds in one day. If Mr. Legal is at work for 28,800 seconds a day, how many seconds a day is he away from work? Okay, so we have our full day. Okay, and our full day has 86,400 seconds. Okay, so now he's at work for 28,800. We need to know how much is he not at work. Okay, so again, we're going to do our subtraction. Okay, so ones and tens are pretty easy, so we go to our hundreds place. We see that we need to decompose. Okay, so now we have 14 minus 8 is 6. Okay, so we only have 5 minus 8 in the thousands place, so again we need to decompose. 15 minus 8 is now 7. 7 10,000s minus 2 10,000s is now 5 10,000s. Okay, so now we're going to check our work by adding 57,600 plus 28,800, and hopefully we'll get 86,400. Okay, so we add these up. Okay, and it checks. Now one thing you want to take a look at is, notice how we have two places here where we carried over a 1 or combined 10 to slide over to the next place. That's the same thing that we had to do over here when we had to do our decomposition. So here we were decomposing and here we were composing. So now we have our answer statement. Okay, so Mr. Legal is not at work for 57,600 seconds. Okay. All right, so moving on now to number 3. All right, so we have a newspaper company delivered 240,900 newspapers before 6 a.m. on Sunday. There were a total of 525,600 newspapers to deliver. How many more newspapers needed to be delivered on Sunday? Okay, remember, how many more is a big clue that you need to subtract. So we set up our tape diagram. Okay, so we have the total number of newspapers. Okay, we know some of them have been delivered. We need to know how many are left. Okay, so now we can go ahead and subtract it on out. Okay, so 600 minus 900, so we need to decompose 1,000 into 10 hundreds. Okay, subtract that on out. Okay, then we get over to our 10,000s place, and again we need to decompose. So we're going to take 100,000 and turn it into 10 10,000s. So we can go ahead and finish doing our subtraction. Okay, so now again we've got to check our work. Okay, add these on up. Okay, and we get our original number. And again, notice where we are composing, same places that we are decomposing over here. Okay, so 525, whoop, that's our original number, sorry about that. So 284,700 more newspapers need to be delivered. Okay. Okay, moving on to number 4 here. A theater holds a total of 2,013 chairs. 197 of those chairs are in the VIP section. So we need to know how many are not in the VIP section. Okay, so again, we've got our theater with our total number of chairs. Okay, got our select VIPs over here with 197. We want to know how many other chairs there are left over. Okay, so go ahead and subtract this on out. So again, right away on our ones place, we need to do some decomposition. Okay, so we're going to take our 10, turn it into 10 ones. Okay, now This gets a little bit tricky with our zeros. Okay, so 0 minus 9 in our tens place. Well, we need to obviously decompose, but we have 0 in the hundreds place. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 20 hundreds and turn it into 19 hundreds. And we take that 100 and turn it into 10 tens. Okay, so now we can go ahead and subtract to get the rest of our answer. Okay, so now to check it. Okay, go ahead and add these on up. And we see that it checks with our original 2013. Okay, so we have 1,816 shares are not VIP. Okay, all right, last one. Okay, Chuck's mom spent $19,155 on a new car, and she had $30,064 in her bank account. How much money does Chuck's mom have after buying the car? Okay, so we've got her bank account here. Okay, she's got a nice $30,064 in there. Okay, so she goes out, buys a nice new car. She's going to use some of that money. Okay, so we want to know how much does she have left in her account. Okay, so again, go ahead and subtract this on out. Okay, so ones place right away we need to decompose. So our 6 tens becomes 5 tens. Okay, and we turn that 10 into 10 ones. So 14 minus 5 is 9. 5 minus 5 is 0. Okay, now again, we got some zeros, so we have to be very careful. So right away in our hundreds place we have 0 minus 1. But we can't take anything from our thousands place. So what we need to do is we need to decompose our 30 thousands into 29 thousands. And now our 0 hundreds is now 10 hundreds. We took 8,000 and turned it into 10 hundreds. So now we can go ahead and subtract out the rest of our problem. Okay, and then we got to check it with the inverse of subtraction, which is addition. Okay, so go ahead, add these on up. You can see that it checks out. Now again, you see where you're composing over here. This is exactly where you're decomposing over here. Okay, so Chuck's mom has $10,909 left.